Hey friends, I'm back with another video, and here we're going to do some more trade skills. That's right, we're going to do tailoring today, of course, because I'm standing here right in front of the Clockwork Tailor tailoring supplies merchant. So first we're going to right click on him, and we want to purchase a large sewing kit. Yep, that's what we need to get started. After opening your tailoring kit, left-click on the search button. You may see a bunch of recipes populate the list immediately. This can be really helpful as it can show you what is the easiest thing to do, what is trivial at a low level. And that would be making things like silk swatches or silk threads. The good news is that making silk thread is a no-fail combine. At least, I'm pretty sure it is. It might not be. So, let's find out. And look here, I've already gotten 1 skill point in tailoring just by making these silk threads. It doesn't look like I've failed yet, so I'm pretty sure this is indeed a no-fail combine. If you happen to fail while trying to make silk thread, please let me know this in the comments below. You'll see here that it says you can no longer advance your skill making this item. That is because we reached 15, which it's trivial at 15. We're not going to gain any more skill ups, but continuing to combine your spiderling silks into silk thread isn't going to hurt anything, and it's good to have a lot of silk thread because you can make other stuff with it. The same goes for using spider silk to make silk swatches. It is trivial at 15, so you'll see here it says you can no longer increase your skill by making this item. But silk swatches are used in a lot of higher level combines, so it's worth making. It's worth continuing to make the swatches. So let's say we've made a good number of swatches and thread. What's the next thing we want to do? Well, if you see here, you can make silk bandages by combining silk threads together. So let's do that and try to get up to 21. You'll see here that I failed my first attempt and I lost my 2 silk threads. This is not a no-fail combine. If you fail, you lose some of your materials. But the benefit is you can skill up. As you see, 16, 17, 18. It's up to you if you want to keep making bandages with your thread or not once it's trivial. I would say don't bother because you can use the thread for better things, okay? You can use the thread to make leather padding. You can use the thread to make silk cord, and I'll show you what those things are used for. Your next step up would be to make patchwork armor. So for that, we can buy some patterns here, and luckily this tailoring supplies guy has patterns. I'm going to buy some tunic patterns here. But let's buy something cheap too, like the wrist pattern, okay? Actually, I think they're the same price, the tunic and the wrist. So let's buy, say, 10 wrist patterns, okay? So here we have some ruined wolf pelts. Let's drop a ruined wolf pelt, because that's what you need to make the patchwork. So we'll put it in there with a wrist pattern and make a wristband. We'll put in the ruined wolf pelt with a tunic pattern and make a tunic. So now we have one of each. You see we got a skill up too. So now when we go to sell it back to the merchant, if you want to sell it back, if you don't have any gear at all, you can wear this stuff, okay? This gives you a 6 AC for the tunic. It gives you 2 AC for the wrist. So if you're like a naked wood elf or something like that, one of the smaller races that can wear this, then yes, wear it. Wear it until you find something better. you see here, this guy is offering me 1 gold and 3 silver to buy the bracer back from me. He's offering 1 gold and 3 silver to buy the tunic back from me. So I'm not sure if this is something that changed recently, but I was under the impression, and I swear this, that they gave you more for tunic. You get the same amount whether you're making tunics or wristbands. Yeah, go ahead, make whatever the heck you feel like making to get your skill ups, guys. Now, of course, if you have no gear at all, you can make one of each. Make some legs, make a tunic, make sleeves, make gloves, make boots, and all that stuff. A cape, shoulder pads, because then you can outfit yourself in the tattered armor or the patchwork armor. So I'm going to use up these 12 ruined pelts and make a bunch of tunics, trying to skill up to 26. I'm already at 25. Fortunately for me, it's going up very quickly. And there we go. So I have no reason to use up the rest of these pelts unless I just don't want them and I want to sell them. I am curious if selling the pelt itself... Okay, selling a ruined pelt is only going to get you 9 copper pieces, while selling a tunic will get you 1 gold, 3 silver, 8 copper. And you see the tunic pattern itself is 5 silver, 4 copper. So the combined items with the pattern and the hide does increase the value. So it's a good thing. You can actually make a little money just by making these things, getting your skill ups, and then selling it back to the merchant. You can potentially make a profit if you don't fail too much. The next thing here on the list is making leather padding. It can get you up to skill of 31. What does that entail? That entails any low quality pelt. It can be bear, it can be cat, it can be wolf, as long as it is low quality. You combine that with silk thread. This is why I suggested not wasting all of your silk thread just on making bandages. Make the bandages until it's trivial and then stop. Save your silk thread. So let's make some of this leather padding. We'll use the wolf pelts first. And I actually recommend using your wolf and cat pelts before using your bear pelts. Low quality bear pelts can actually be turned into something better than leather padding. Well, better depending on your particular needs at that time, and I'll explain that in a minute. We're level 30, and we're at 31. So we can stop there for now. We can always save our low quality pelts for later if we do want to make more leather padding. Don't get rid of your leather padding, because if you plan on doing blacksmithing and want to craft fine plate, that is what the leather padding can be used for. Or save your leather padding to sell in the East Commons tunnel to other players, because blacksmiths will buy it from you. They want to make the fine plate and they need the leather padding to do it, and not everybody wants to go around farming for low quality pelts. They're happy to purchase it at a pretty good price. If I remember correctly, the going rate was 1 platinum per leather padding, and that's way more than you would get by trying to sell it to a merchant. A merchant will just give you 3 gold and 6 silver for it. Still, not bad. The next thing here on the list is raw silk. You can make raw silk armor, which can be used for casters, such as wizards, mages, necromancers, and enchanters. You can make a raw silk robe out of 2 silk swatches and a tunic pattern. And I even got a skill up. The raw silk robe has a 6 armor class. It weighs 0.4, so it's very light. And this is great for any caster. If you plan on making raw silk armor only for skilling up, I would recommend doing something like the raw silk wristbands. These have the same trivial amount as everything else, but they only use a single silk swatch. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to make some wristbands. And just pay attention to your skill ups. As soon as you hit 36, you'll want to stop. You don't want to waste all your silk swatches because they can still be used to progress you further. Here we go. We reached 36, so we're stopping. The next thing on the list is studded armor. Studded armor is made by using medium quality wolf, cat, or bear skins. You also need studs. If you watched my blacksmithing video that I made recently, I was making studs by melting down rusty weapons, right? I took rusties, I made them into tarnished. I took the tarnished and melted them down into blocks of ore or small pieces of ore. Then you combine those, you made metal bits, and you took the metal bits and you made studs. Here's the studs, and here's medium quality pelts, and we can make studded armor. For studded armor, I would recommend making small studded masks if you can, because it uses the least amount of studs. So let's get a mask pattern. Here we are. And we'll start off with 40 of them. I'm going to just hit combine all. Again, if making studded armor would be an upgrade for your character, because for example, take a look at the stats on a studded tunic. It's 9 AC. It's not terribly bad. So you can make yourself a full set of studded leather. Be you a warrior or a druid or just anything. The only people who cannot use studded leather are casters. So if you are a wizard, a mage, an enchanter, or a necromancer, you cannot use studded leather. But warriors, monks, druids, and clerics, and just about anybody else can use studded leather. The nice thing about studded leather is that it is also lighter than banded armor. Yep, even rogues and shaman can use studded leather. It looks like we've spent all of our wolf pelts, so let's see about making medium studded leather. Medium studded leather is made by using cat pelts, medium quality cat pelts. So we'll make some more studded masks. Again, if you wear medium armor and you have these cat pelts, don't waste them just on skilling up. You might be able to skill up and make yourself an outfit. Make yourself a full set of studded leather, or see what your guild mates or friends can use and make some for them. So I'm going to watch closely because I'm getting close to 56. And once I'm at 56, I'm going to want to stop. There's no reason to waste all your materials if you don't have to, because you may run into someone later who could really use that studded leather, especially on a TLP server, guys. And that's what I'm making this for. I'm making it for those of you playing on Teak right now, because the TLPs have a lot of people in need of armor, right? I've run out of wolf pelts, I've run out of cat pelts, but I do have some medium quality bear pelts. And we'll make some masks with this until we hit 56. We're at 55, so it shouldn't take me more than 1 or 2. And there we go. We are at 56. It only took 1. At this point, I'm going to sell off a lot of the stuff that I've made because I don't need it right now. And I can recover some of the cost of me spending on materials, because maybe I bought some of these pelts Maybe I bought a bunch of these patterns. So you see here, I'm selling some of the small studded. I'm getting 8 plat selling some of this back. And remember, if you want to sell things like everything inside of one bag very quickly, left click on the whole bag and you'll see you'll get 6 plat, 7 gold for selling everything in that particular bag. And you could just hit sell. So we've emptied our bags here. We're going to go to the next thing in our trivial list. It looks like the next thing would be cured silk. Cured silk is an interesting item because not only do you need tailoring skill, but you need to have your brewing skill up too. You have to brew a beverage called Heady Keola. So you have to purchase 2 packets of Keola sap, a bottle, and a flask of water. You combine those into a brew barrel to make your Heady Keola. Then you may need 1 or 2 silk swatches. Sometimes you may even need up to 3 or 4, depending on what you're making. And you want a pattern for whatever it is you happen to be wanting to do. I would say look for the item that uses the least amount of materials, the least number of swatches, the least number of Heady Keola, so you don't have to keep making more. And this one here looks perfect. It's the Cured Silk Mask. It just uses a single bottle of Heady Keola, a single swatch, and the single pattern. I think I'm going to buy more mask patterns though, as I've only got 15. I may have gone overboard, but at least I won't have to buy any more because I have 100 now. So here I can select Make All and just let it rip. You see, I've already got another skill up. And we're already at tailoring of 58. We didn't even have to put any of our skill points into this. We started at 0. And we're now up to 60. Keep in mind, some characters may have higher intelligence or higher dex or whatever. And it could be that some of your stats might impact how quickly you learn a skill. I do think intelligence is one of them, but I believe that wisdom can also be used. I'm assuming that it selects the higher of the 2 of them. You'll see here I've reached 75 and I'm still climbing, so I'm just going to let it keep going. There we go. We made it to 82 in tailoring. I think that's pretty good. It looks like the next thing here on the list is reinforced armor. Reinforced armor is made by using high quality pelts and steel boning. Remember the steel boning we made in the blacksmithing trade skill video? Well, if you don't remember, check that one out. If we want to be conservative and save materials, we can make the reinforced wristbands because they only use 1 steel boning, 1 high quality cat pelt, and 1 pattern. Although they all only use a single pattern, but some use multiple steel boning. I'm going to burn through my wolf pelts first because they're the thing that I need the least of right now, so I'm gonna just burn through them. And already we got a skill up. We're at 83. If we're really lucky, doing this step, doing the reinforced leather, will get us up to over 100. And that is, of course, the wish and the goal for this video is within a single video to show you trade skilling, tailoring from 0 to 100. Don't be frustrated if you can't do this all in one sitting like I'm doing. I'm cheating a little bit. I won't tell you how, but I am. So now we're going to do some of these reinforced wristbands made with the cat pelts. This is for medium races. And when I say medium races, I mean that the wolf pelts will fit smaller races like gnomes and halflings and dwarves, while medium races are considered humans, erudites, and barbarians. If you run out of materials, just purchase some more if you can. And when I say purchase, I mean like the wristbands, because yes, those are purchased. But the pelts, all of the animal pelts, you either have to purchase them from another player or go out and farm them by killing wolves and cats and bears. And look at this, we're already reaching our 92 skill by making this reinforced armor. I'm excited. I'm hoping to get up to 100. We used all the cat pelts, we used all the wolf pelts, so we are on high quality bear skins now. This is a bit painful to do because high quality bear skins are very valuable. They can also be used to make bags, and I'm actually going to only use a few of these to try to bring the skill up. It looks like actually our bags are full. What luck, huh? Because now I can't auto inventory this because I have no more room left in my bags. So let's try to sell what we've made so far. We'll get some of our platinum back. Remember, you can just left click on the bag itself, and that way you can sell everything that's in the bag. But make sure that it's a bag of stuff you really want to sell, because here I have some of my spells. I don't want to sell those. I don't want to have to buy them again. So we got our skill up to 93, not quite 100. I do have bear pelts that I can use, but I'd rather make something else. And I'm going to show you what I want to make. I want to make some tailored backpacks. These patterns are 5 gold each, so we're only going to buy 10 of them for now. We're going to open up our bag. So here we have our high quality bear skin, drop it in there. We have our backpack pattern, we're going to drop it in there and press combine. And presto, we have a handmade backpack. On a TLP, these are super valuable. They are 10 capacity with a 10% weight reduction. So normally you can only buy 8 slotted bags, right, from any merchant, but you can craft 10 slotted backpacks, which are super. They give you so much more inventory space. If you're curious, the full name of it is Handmade Backpack. And of course, it can only be made using a high quality bear skin. It's already trivial at 88. We reached 93 by making the reinforced leather. There is one other piece of armor that we can do that means we don't have to waste our high quality bear skins. And that is, we can try to make some Woo's armor. Now this gets tricky because you have to involve an enchanter in this. So Woo's armor is a monk only armor that uses a silk swatch. It uses heady Keola. We can use a mask pattern, and we also need something from an enchanter, which is a vial of viscous mana. So let's see if it works. I might need more Keola. I might need more Keola. There we go. We needed 4, not 2, not 3, but 4. So you see here, Woo's fighting mask. It makes a 3 AC, 1 agility mask. So I want to try to make Woo's fighting shirt. That is the tunic for the monk. But I only have a large sewing kit, which is available on Teak and any TLP. You can only get a large sewing kit. You don't have anything larger than that right away. So you can left click here on the loom, which gives you more slots to work with. So let's click on experiment, and we'll go up here and grab our silk I believe we need 3 silks. We need 4 heady Keola. We're going to fill up every slot here. We're going to need our vial of vicious mana or viscous mana and a tunic pattern. Okay, not every slot, but almost every slot. We're going to press combine. And we failed, but we did get a skill up. So let's try it again. Now, getting the viscous mana is sort of expensive. You have to use a poison vial, a pearl, and a spell, which is viscous mana or conjure viscous mana or whatever it's called, and only enchanters can cast it. So make friends with an enchanter if you want this item. It's probably going to cost you at least 5 platinum each, because the poison vials cost about 1 plat each, and then the pearls cost 4 to 5 plat each. So it depends on how generous this enchanter is, but they might charge up to 10 plat per viscous mana. Not to mention, you have to craft your heady Keolas, and those aren't free either. One more try. There we go. We made Wu's fighting shirt. 9 AC, 4 agility. Pretty awesome for a monk if you're on a TLP, just saying. I know that there's better things out there, of course, like a fungi tunic. Who would wear this over a fungi? You'd have to be nuts. But if you don't have access to a fungi or some other better tunic, this can help you out and keep you from getting hit and give you some nice AC and agility until you can find something better. One final question that you may have is, say you do make some Wu's fighting stuff, like the Wu's fighting mask. What do you get for it if you sell it back to the merchant? Well, it looks like I would get 5 platinum, 7 gold, 5 silver, and 9 copper if I were to sell it back to this particular merchant. So I would barely get my cost back that I spent on it. That is if I had my own enchanter, or if I was an enchanter and was making the viscous mana vials myself. If you're getting the viscous mana vials at anything more than cost, then yeah, you're going to take a big loss, especially if you have someone charging you like maybe 10 plat per vial, which wouldn't be insane because the player would be taking time out of their day to summon these, and currently there's no way to summon a full stack of, say, 20 vials like on a regular server. If it's a TLP, they're only going to be able to summon these vials one at a time, and that's very slow and time consuming. There's kind of a long cooldown on the spell. While we didn't really reach the goal of hitting 100 in this video, we did get it up to 94. I would suggest getting more high quality wolf and cat pelts to continue your tailoring journey to get in over 100 by making the reinforced armor. It's the most economical because you can get rusty weapons, melt them down into small bricks of ore, then you can craft those small bricks into your steel boning, so you can get your steel boning for almost nothing. And then your pelts, if you're farming them yourself, maybe having some friends send you some if they encounter them as well. Just tell them, hey, I need these things. I'm crafting. Can you help me out? A lot of people are willing to help. So there you go. I hope you found this helpful. And again, this is why I said make studs, make boning in my previous video where I was covering blacksmithing. It's going to help you if you plan on doing tailoring, or if you have a friend who's working on tailoring, you can either sell him the studs and boning or be super generous and just give it to them. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up. It would really help me out. It would make me more visible and more seen to other Everquest players in the community. If you'd like to support me and support my channel, please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Or better yet, you can join the channel as a channel member. Channel members get special perks and privileges, like a link to join the private Discord. If YouTube memberships are not your thing, then check out the links below the video for a link to my Patreon. Patreon patrons get similar perks, like a link to join the private Discord. There's also no advertisements over there on Patreon. You can also leave a super thanks on the video. A super thanks is like a little donation that says, "Hey, Fez, thanks for this video. I found it helpful and informative." Finally, I'd like to thank all my current YouTube channel members and Patreon patrons for your continued support of the channel. Thank you very much. Your continued support and the fact that you subscribe every month really means a lot to me. It encourages me and makes me strive to do better. Thank you. And thank you everybody for watching. Have a great day and a wonderful tomorrow.